Howdy. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to talk about psychic driving, calendars, traditions. So this idea of psychic driving, it's a term that I just learned a few weeks ago. And it basically comes from the Monarch Mind Control program. I'm sure you've heard of mind control and how you can manipulate people through the mind and make them act in all sorts of different ways. And, first you got to break somebody's spirit. You got to make them disassociate into different characters, and you control each character, and you manipulate the target in so many different ways that they have no idea they're being manipulated, right? That's the whole purpose of mind control. And this idea of psychic driving is just repetition. It's when something is repeated over and over and over and over, and then they keep repeating it, right? Like you repeated something 1,000 times in your life, and now you're going to repeat it 10 more thousand times. Okay, and it's normal, right? I think that's how people come to the conclusion that something's normal, is they've repeated it over and over and over again, okay? So I have found a pattern, when I look into society we live in, the way I was raised, the religions that I was taught. I see psychic driving in everything, especially as a child. How much a child has to repeat something. It's just, it's incredible to come to these conclusions right now after experiencing so much repetition. And the calendar, right? We every week we celebrate the weekend, right? We get Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. The psychic driving of the calendar that we're under each week repeats. And then just the whole idea of a year itself and all the holy days, they repeat over and over and over again, and how it just becomes ingrained into a person, into a human. And that's how they come to the conclusion something's normal. It's been repeated. It's been psychically driven into everyone, basically. And I could go 1,000 different directions with this talk. It's just... But I want to stay focused. This idea of repetition, psychic driving. And let's focus on the calendar first. Okay, we just had Christmas. In America, they celebrated their holy day. Right? Anytime there's a holiday, it's actually a holy day for the religion that the person's following. So Americans that are under the religious tradition of these holy days, they just celebrated their big boom. It's their favorite one, right? Just people get so insane about Christmas, and then I hear people, well, how could anybody not like Christmas? What is wrong? Like something's wrong with somebody who doesn't like Christmas. And just all of the just group think, consumerism, like just nonsense about all these holy days. Should be really obvious to anybody thinking spiritually or thinking beyond material things. Like something's up. Something's going on with these repeated holy days every year. I mean, it's pretty obvious Christmas is just about getting people to buy more things. It really has no root in anything useful for the people except for a slave celebration. You know, they get a week off, or they might get 2 weeks off from having to go in and do their work. But make sure that you buy all of the fake plastic trees and all the stupid lights, and buy your kids Chinese crap. You know, it's a holy day for money. If you haven't realized what all these holy days are actually about the worship of money, and how you're living in a realm of money religion. It's like some sort of religious fervor for people to go make money, and then spend it in all these ridiculous ways, you know. And it all culminates in Christmas, where you all buy a bunch of stupid stuff, and who can spend the most money on the kid, you know. Like, you got the divorced family, and then it's like, is the dad gonna give the kid the bigger gift, or is the mom? Like, you gotta use material means to pollute your children and to try to indoctrinate them into the material money realm and all the psycho stuff that comes with it. And it's normal, right? The way I'm saying it is the way I see it. It's absolutely insane. And to still see people, like I was at Market Basket, which is like a grocery store up here, and they were playing the Christmas music, I mean, for like 2 months straight, right? Like Thanksgiving, they play it. They start playing it real early. But I'm in the aisles, and I'm like, oh man, the same music I've heard 1,000 times my whole life. And now I understand why. It's why it's there, why it's repeated. It's psychic driving to keep them in the rhythm of the holy day. And then I literally heard a guy singing the Christmas song in the aisle, dashing through the snow, like with, you know, they're playing it on the loudspeakers, and then I hear the people singing this along with the songs, and it's just, I gotta always take a step back, because, I don't know, those songs are like whatever, they don't bother me, it's just, they're tools of manipulation. And just to hear people repeating these songs every year, and they're so proud of it, and it's wonderful, and it's all made up. It's just a money grab and another shiny computer game or an iPhone toy, something you didn't need, right? Something you did not need to give your kids in the first place. My opinion, every day is a holy day. Like, every day is a holiday. You want to get your kids something, do it any time, okay? Just, why is there this massive ritual around certain days? And you just have to think, who came up with the calendar? Why are these certain days celebrated? And then what's up with, we're in December right now, and we're about to go into January. If you look up any symbolism, Janus, the two-faced god, the god of portals, we're about to go through a portal in January 1st. You should really question why the change of the year is right then and there. Because according to nature and the seasons, the last month is the end of February. And then the new year begins in spring. Okay, that's according to, I'd say, the creator of this realm and nature. Like, their new year is spring. Their new year is not in the middle of deadened winter. But for humans, right, what a way to throw everything off. To have them start a new year in the cold and in the time where things are supposed to freeze and die off. So have you ever wondered why New Year's resolutions don't work? It's because the timing's off. You're trying to make a change in the time when things are supposed to die off from you, just like they're dying off in nature. So I just find that the man-made calendar is a trick. It's a trap in itself. Why is it a yearly cycle where you must take account for everything you've done and pay somebody, the taxes, right? Every year that goes by, you got to go out and get more tags for your cars. You got to go ask for permission to travel around each year. I'm just telling you, we don't have to live like this. We don't have to repeat rituals every single year. We don't have to repeat holy days. They were here before us for a big purpose. And it's not for you to enjoy. I mean, that's the crazy thing about all this, and everybody celebrates, and they don't really realize they're reinforcing their slavery each time they celebrate a holy day. So I covered the calendar and sort of the traditions. I want to get deeper into the traditions and the psychic driving of being born into a country. And then somebody repeats to you your entire, like you're just a kid, and you grow up and you're like, hey, who's that? What's going on there? You're an American. Don't forget every day, pledge your heart to the murder flag. So you have to see how children are taken and corrupted through psychic driving, tradition. I mean, really, when you really think deeply about tradition, conservatism, it's just like deadness. It's about not growing, not changing. It's about being a little 2-year-old baby, a little baby throwing a tantrum. Like, it's got to stay the same. It's going to be the same all the time. We can't change. You can't change. I get it. I've been surrounded by these people that cannot change and refuse to even question why they don't change. It's the tradition. It's that I was a baby once, and then I'm a baby again, and then every year I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby every year, never growing, never changing, never having to face the real reality of what you even are, what's going on here, right? It's just a way to hide away. Being caught in your traditions, your conservatism, and your religions. I want to talk about how you can use psychic driving, use repetition the right way, and start your own rituals. Start your own holy day. Whereas to me, I got it from a song too. It's like a reggae song. Every day is a holiday. I don't mind what the crowd may say. Every day is a holiday. It really resonated when I heard that song. It's like, every day is a holy day. Every day is a day to be whole, to be your true self. Why, and it's just, it always makes me smile when I think about this realm and the people and their traditions and how we only get one holy day each week, right? Sunday is our holy day, and then for some people it's the Sabbath. Saturn Day is our holy day. It's just this made up nonsense to where you get one holy day out of the week, the rest you better work, okay? Because you're unholy. You're not whole. Okay, you failed. You sinned. You're fallen. Submit to your masters already, okay? You get one holy day a week, and then we sprinkle in little holy day celebrations for you. Don't you try to choose a holy day. And my God, don't try to make every day a holy day. You wouldn't be able to be ruled over and taken at every turn. If you realize you could be whole, you don't need that thing outside of you, that the TV's got you, or your parents. God, they're the worst in this age, trying to influence you into their traditions that are rotten. They're rotten fruit traditions is the way I see it. Everything's just rotting and decaying. And hey, you want to join our rottenness? No. What are you doing? So all I have to say is like, gosh, repeat good things in your life. Repeat mantras in your mind. I'm free. I'm beautiful. I'm bold. I'm big. I don't know. It's whatever you want to say to yourself. And you can just see how, man, I don't think a lot of people talk to themselves that way in their head. They're saying all sorts of other, I'm not good enough. Oh, he doesn't like me, or she didn't look at me. Oh, it's just, people have, they psychically drive themselves into a pit. They repeat their selves into nothingness, into servitude. Start a new ritual. Say to yourself, I'm not going to fall for the trick again. I'm done with these tricks. I'm done with authors authoring my life. I'm in control of the script. Ain't no scripture going to screw me up. I write my own script on the fly because I know what's right and wrong. I'm not a baby being told how to live and how to think. I've grown up. I've changed. That's the psychic driving I repeat to myself. Is I am growing up. I continue to grow. I don't have all the answers. That's the major part of what I tell myself is be humble. Be humble. So I think this is the key to reversing all the psychic driving. Because it's all based on arrogance. They all think they have it all figured out. They went to the authority and the authority stamped it and made it real. Or the scientist who's just paid off to lie, cheat, whatever. You just go to somebody else asking, is it real? Is it, you gotta get with yourself. You gotta wake your own curiosities up again. You gotta go experiment, verify something. Just anything you've been told that you haven't tested, please test it out. Please. I guess I can't explain it, but it's who I am, is I've always tested all the things out that people told me. And that's how I found all these inconsistencies and anomalies. But that's my tradition, which I think some of us have traditions, codes, like codes of ethics encoded in us when we come here, to where it don't really matter what others have to say. You will eventually find your code, your way of viewing it all. You'll eventually, oh, now I get it. And I'm getting there. But the key is humbleness. The key is knowing that you don't know everything and being confident about that. Whew, yeah, fire's getting pretty hot. I had to close it up. Just like this talk, I gotta close up. I ramble on and on and on. I can't help it. I wish you were here with me and we could talk, But this is the way the realm is at the moment. Everybody's off, kind of isolated in their own situation. We're not a real connected, united humanity yet. I'm working on it. But if you really want to defeat the psychic driving and all the repetition around you, you got to create something new and repeat it. And it becomes real. It becomes normal. Right? Everybody's like, well, that's not normal. It's not normal. Yeah. And normal is mind control, repetitive patterns. That's what normal is. I finally figured out what normal actually means. It's not a good thing. It means you're stuck and you're mired. You're stuck in the muck and you can't move. Create your own way. It's another way to put all of this. Stop copying other people. Stop mimicking the way somebody else did it. See what happens. Snap your fingers, see what comes to mind, see what you want to do. Focus on what you want. Because that's another lesson I'll toss in here that I've heard from a lot of people. Makes a lot of sense. And it's why I'm free, is because I've always focused on my freedom. It's more than anything, I've wanted freedom. Don't focus on what you don't want. Don't focus, oh, I don't want them to come take this from me. Oh, I don't want that to happen. I don't, because it ends up happening because you're focusing on it and your mind goes in there and makes it happen. Okay, our minds are more powerful than we could really comprehend. And you've got to be able to shake it off, let go of what's been done to the mind. Become a kid again. I mean, it's very simple. It's real simple to talk about, really hard to do, because as an adult, right, an adulterer, you have been psychically driven to be a monster. You've been psychically driven to be heartless, to be cold, and to worship money, and to choose a side, right? Just choose your religious side, sit there and read your book, choose your political side, and forsake all the innocent people around the world, right? Because you're a Radomlican or a demon rat, which is the parties of America, right? So it's just, it's too obvious. I don't even know how this could have happened, but that's me, right? I don't think I really fit in here in the current way things are. I see it so differently, and my heart always tells me, keep going, don't give up. It seems grim. It's a grim feast right now. It just, if I was to really, I don't know, I love coming up with a dark, jokey way of putting it. I was playing a video game, and this thing in it is called a grim feast. It's where the zombies go and eat a body to get health back. And I was like, man, a grim feast. It's kind of like the age we're living in. You got all these demonic, psycho, disgusting people feasting on all these just humanity, just sitting there being feasted on every day. Their energy's being taken. They're being thrown at each other to start a new war, to start a new division. It's a grim feast. Is really, you want to put it in a nutshell, it's a grim feast right now. It's a feeding frenzy. So I would stop feeding, I would stop consuming, and I would hold my energy. Be at peace. Don't waste it. Don't let other people take it. Because, man, there is something going on here. Think about if this is a dream realm and we're all just dreaming, having our dreams, our lives. There's people stealing your dreams. There's people stealing so much right now from all these innocent people. It's so hierarchical to where the people with all the money sit way up top actually there's an invisible group above them that you'll never hear of, you'll never know of, right? They created the money system, they created all these stupid characters that you think are real, your presidents, you know, your monopoly companies, you just have to realize the hierarchy that's going on and how everybody's taking advantage of the person below them. That's all that's going on here. It's just a big feeding frenzy. And how I don't want to be a part of it. I don't know. It's like, how do you stay here in this realm? You got to have energy somehow, so I try to get it from the sunlight and from things that are just not polluting the planet. It's a fine line in this age to keep your sanity, keep yourself straight when everything has gone crooked and they accepted the crookedness and they want you to be crooked with them. I've said a lot. I could probably write a whole book on psychic driving and all the patterns I see out in the wild and all the repetition I see in the humans every year, whatever a year means, in their calendars. So, thanks for listening. I hope you can pick up what I'm putting down. It just comes natural to me. I wish it was a little more natural for people to see this place clearly. But I guess that's half the fun of it, eh? I love you. Enjoy.